Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, y'all recognize us, right? You remember the faces. We had to spin the block for a round two. We are continuing the conversation of the art of date fragrances. And for those of you who don't know, we did do a panel a week or two ago on this, and we kind of got the ball rolling. But there's just so much to unpack with it. There was a lot of questions in my phone that I didn't get to ask the fellas, so naturally, I hit everybody else back up and said, "Hey, let's kind of finish the conversation." The conversation's never really over, but I feel like this is one of those topics that will never go away. You know, romance, date night, and all the things that go into the decisions on what fragrances you want, how you grow with fragrance, how you age and fragrances change with you. And so the more information, the better, right? It's not like you're trying to arrive at some black and white answer that's just always going to be useful. It's just about getting the information out there, talking through all these scenarios, and helping your journey be that much better. Joined with me, I've got my guys, Chris Siage, Kix Griffey, and Mr. Looking Good, Feeling Good, Smelling Good, Trey Fragrance in the building. What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good, man. Doing good. We
What's
got gotta
good?
be back.
Hey, bless, man. Let's do it.
Let's
Feeling
do it.
good.
Okay, so we don't really need to intro much. This is the art of date fragrances. We're continuing the conversation on a part two. And so here's a question I have for all you guys. And we'll start with Chris and kind of go circular. And we'll try to be, somewhat concise today because I do have a lot of questions. And I was thinking, should we ask one or two of you guys and get long answers or whatever? But I kind of want to just constantly go in a wheel and just keep the perspective fresh. So, starting with Chris, normally date night scents or date fragrances tend to be sweeter, masculine, playful, and or a mix of the three. So, sweeter, masculine, and or playful. Which scents do you find yourself gravitating towards with date fragrances? And for those of us who are married, we can just equate date to your girl. When you're trying to be romantic, whether it's during the day or during the night, what type of date sense do you gravitate towards? Sweet, masculine, playful, or a mix of them? And if you need to use an actual fragrance as an example, that's okay. But if you just want to talk about it in terms of style, that's cool too.
I think for me, the best success I've had, just speaking like anecdotally, is just masculine. I don't go much for sweets because I'm not like a big gourmand guy either. Just generally, I go more for like masculine, maybe oriental fragrances. But when I'm going, maybe I want to be a bit romantical. Maybe if it's colder, I'll pull out something that's a little spicy and sweet. But generally, I will pull out something masculine, fresh, something like that. That always does the job. I mean, I feel like just girls just like fresh stuff the best because like, oh, you smell clean. But I try to keep it like I said, mass appealing, but still like I think what we were just talking about, bright leather is a very good example of that. It's mass appealing, but it's not so like sauvage, like you know what I mean? That's
Mm-hmm.
always the example. It's not like that.
Okay. Kix, what about you, bro? Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
He's muted.
That's funny, man. I was like, he mentioned Sauvage, man. The minute he mentioned that, I was just laughing. Forgive me, man. It's the F boy fragrance of the century. But back to your question, man. Which I think I still love Sauvage. Let me not piss nobody off. I still love Sauvage, but I have evolved. Um, Mine, I say I like a mixture of the three, depending on what mood I'm in. Weather plays a role in it, but like for example, Dom Rosa by Liquid Imaginaries. I love this fragrance because it has a little bit of everything, right? It has like a sweet champagne note that women love. They love champagne. They love wine. My wife is a big wine drinker. You know what I'm saying? It has my favorite rose in it. And then it got like other notes like cloves, olibanum, the smoke. It gives that woodiness on the dry down. Vetiver, which I don't like, but when it's blended well, it's amazing. And that Gaiac wood, real nice. So fragrances like these, man, Liquid Imaginaries, Dom Rosa, those are the type of fragrances that work for me. Usually though, like I said, man, if I wear something, let's just say like a Boss Bottled Absolute, my wife is a fragrance Yahtzee. Let me be clear, Yahtzee. You know what I mean. So she hate everything, dude. But
Yeah.
something that's like sweet but masculine and
Mhm.
endearing at the same time. This is what works. This something like this works for me.
Right.
Trey, what you got for us?
Ain't gonna lie, bro. Me personally, man, like what Kit say, like I say, it depends on what mood I'm in. But me personally, like when it come up to date night, bro, I mainly kind of go for something unisex. I'm not gonna lie. Me personally, I like to go for something unisex. Like for example, this Nishane Ani. This Nishane, man, that blue ginger note it really stands out to me in a way because it's like when you think of that ginger, you think of a little bit of spice in there. You know, with that blue, it's kind of like a fresh. You get some bergamot, you get some patchouli, ambergris, all that. There's a lot of things going on in this fragrance, but this scent is a very nice fragrance, definitely for that winter, man. I'll definitely wear it for a winter date night because this is a winter scent. But I definitely go for something unisex. But I do like something a little bit sweet, a little bit fruity. Date night when it come up to masculine, I really don't choose as masculine. I really don't lean towards that. Date night. But like I said, I kind of like that unisex when it come up to date nights.
Yeah, and I hate to keep saying this because women are the older women get, the more concrete they get in their opinions about this topic. And so I know as women hear this conversation, a lot of times they're like, no, you don't like, they have strong opinions about what they think works for men or not. And the reality is like,
They don't know.
well, what about your man? Because are you with a man or are you not with a man? And
Stop. No, SP,
no,
stop.
listen,
Stop.
I have to say this because this goes for the men too. Listen, guys,
Yeah.
there are ideas about what women like and what men like, but the reality is none of that matters if the one you're chasing after isn't like that. And so I always say, like, when certain women have opinions about like my testimony and my walk with fragrance, I always say, respectfully, you are not my wife. And
Fact.
and clearly my wife is different than you. I'm sorry, I tell people I have the most beautiful wife in the world. And so I have a great data center giving me great feedback. And so I wanted to just say all of that because guys, we're fishing, right? We're fishing for how to complement the vibe, make a woman feel comfortable, make her feel excited, like you're about to have a good time, and feel like she's with a man who can protect, provide, and excite. You know what I'm saying? So all of those types of thinking are what influence a fragrance that you might pick. You might want a really robust fragrance, a really fresh fragrance, a really cozy fragrance. A sweet fragrance is kind of just like, that's what she could connect with, right? And so when we talk a unisex fragrance, what we're really saying is I want to wear a fragrance that she can understand somewhat. I don't want to just go rogue masculinity where it's like, is this guy even into me kind of thing. But in my walk with fragrance, and to answer the question, I mess with all three because I'm on a journey. I don't feel like I've arrived at my go-tos yet, even though I have way too many fragrances I have a problem. But I find that in the way I pick a fragrance for a date during the day or a date during the night is it really comes down to who is the person that you're hanging out with and what do they enjoy. So I know with my wife, I have a doctorate degree in my wife, right? I've been with my wife forever, and I have not taken that time lightly. I study my wife. What does she like? What do I like? What are things she values when we're on a date? Does she value the protective aspect? Does she like a man who makes the decisions? Does she like a gentle scent? You know, is it a season thing? Are there certain seasons that stick out more or less? So all of that goes into picking a fragrance for the person that you're with. And sometimes you don't know the chick. If you're going on a fresh date, you're starting from scratch, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when kind of these general rules of thumb come into play. But I think you do know, at least bare minimum, you know, when you're on a new date with somebody, whether they're like a very confident person or they're like gentle spirited, you know, like what their vibe is. And that kind of custom caters the type of fragrances you might go after. And that's where I think mass appealing fragrances really fit the bill because it gives you the highest possibility to come off manly, protective, interesting, cozy, all the things that incite romance and whatever. But yeah, I bounce between super masculine scents and sweet scents as well. But they do different things, right? Like some women find a super masculine man, they don't want to smell a trace of sugar on you or you're sweet. And then other women think the complete opposite. And so with my wife, I'm finding that like she likes a little bit of everything, but she's very critical. So she might not like 90% of the sweet fragrances I present, but when I hit her with one, like for instance, that Must Therapy, she's like, okay, do not wear that outside. Okay, I'm getting info. So I dance between all three of those categories. For you guys, how do you approach, do you think a lot through projection in fragrance? I know we talked earlier about close range kill, long range kill and stuff like that, but do you really think about that when you're picking the fragrance going on a date?
No.
At least
Me personally,
not
me
really.
personally, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, not really.
Do you
'Cause it's
ever
like
do you ever think
close,
like loud?
you know?
Because it's with a small projection fragrance, you have to be less critical, right? Because you can't improve that. It just is what it is. But with a fragrance
Right.
that's beast mode, you might have to think through dialing back, you know, like one or two sprays versus whatever. So, I mean, have you guys ever ran into that where you smelled too strong for a woman and she told you?
Mm,
No, I
yeah,
can't draw a line.
Chris, you
one time
have?
I sprayed way okay. So like Blue de Chanel, that's like I've worn that a lot because that's like Blue de Chanel, YSL L'Homme. Those things are like they work, at
Yeah.
least like for me. And it's like one time I was like, okay, Blue de Chanel doesn't project much on me, but it lasts a long time. Which projection that doesn't really matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I sprayed a lot. I was like, doesn't project much, so I would spray a lot. And this was early when I was collecting fragrances, and I had a lot, man. She was like, "Did you spray the whole bottle?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah."
You said, yes, I did.
Yeah, like,
That's a
basically, like,
commercial right there.
yeah, like I did. No shame.
It's hard because a lot of people in fragrance, people ask me on my channel a lot of time, like, Scent Bubble, how many sprays do you do? And I was like, well, what's the fragrance?
Exactly. Me too.
Like,
Or like, how does it work with you?
for anyone out there that thinks there's this general rule of thumb with fragrances, just is really early on in their journey because, I mean, I was just rocking Nasamato Pardon. That is a 2-spray. Please don't touch this anymore. Stay away from the trigger finger. Put it in the holster. Put it in the Glock compartment box and put it in the safe. And don't even think about it for the rest of the day. And then there's other fragrances where I'll literally spray like 20 sprays. And as I say that, I know there's people out there that's like, they can't even fathom 10 sprays.
Yeah.
Dude,
When
hear me out.
Oh,
Go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Oh,
No,
I was just going to
saying.
say there's two things that impact why you can go relentless on the sprays. Number one, raw materials. I find as quality of ingredients gets better, typically the scent profile is smoother. So even beast mode scents are so smooth, you can go crazy on the trigger finger because the blend is perfection. Whereas sometimes down in the designer and clone area, sometimes the synthetics create a brashness that you do have to be conscious of trigger finger, because even on the dry down, it it's just it's still tickling those nose hairs in a crazy way. So I know some people are like, I would never spray a fragrance 10 times. And that just tells me maybe you haven't had any great niche fragrances, because there are scents that are so smooth that you kind of do want to you go crazy on the trigger so that you don't have to worry about applying it again at the end of the day. And you know that more sprays doesn't always mean more intense. It just increases the longevity. So Kix, go ahead and what were you going to add on to that?
I mean, and what I wanted to talk about, I'm gonna probably knock this over, and I don't get it, which I did. Boom. Anyway, man, look, like for example, this BDK, right? This BDK Citrus Riviera, right? It's great, but you got to shotgun shug this. You have to. You got to go, wow, 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 wow. You're going to have to go ahead and, you know, sit by with that. You're going to have to do something with this, because you can't just go 1, 2, 3. Okay. That doesn't work for this, dude. It don't work for this. I'm just being honest, man. And I mean, like I said, you got to know your fragrance. You got to take stuff on a test run. I never just get a fragrance and just say, oh, this is a new fragrance. I'm going to go out and wear it today without knowing the behavior of that fragrance and how it works on my skin. You know, that's important to me. You could play around and F around if you want, and you're going to smell like you took one of them cologne baths, dude. Like, it'd be real bad.
Me over here, yeah. No,
Johnny
like,
Cash, oh, Johnny Cash, oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, why?
Hey,
Okay,
nah,
listen,
man.
I ain't gonna
today
go
I'm
on a
very
rant.
look.
I
I
ain't gonna
know.
go on a rant. I'm not gonna go
I
on a
know.
rant. You
Look,
ask, SB. You ask if a fragrance. Do you worry about projection, right? And as far as spraying and getting it out, one, if I already got her, I don't want to push her away. That's the projection fragrances is when you like date. No, I mean not before y'all even go out on a date. You trying to catch, right? I want a fragrance that's gonna be somewhat intimate, where you got to come closer. You know what I'm saying? I want you to come closer. So I will get a fragrance that's more an intimate type of fragrance. I want you to come in. I want you
yeah.
to I want you to break that 3 feet barrier. I want you to be like, ooh, dang, you smell good. So a little could go a long way depending on the occasion and what's going on.
Yeah. I think I'll give you a use case where I think about projection is if I'm wearing a fun fragrance. Like there's been times in my dating life where, even with my wife, where we're going to just go have fun. And so the fragrance doesn't necessarily need to be too intimate as much as it just is fun and playful. And so, like, I'll give you an example. Roja's Isola Soul, real tropical fragrance, and you could make a case that it's somewhat romantic, but it's not like seductive. It's just fun, playful, and sweet. Ocean breezy kind of scent. Well, it's really projective early on, but it's a fleeting memory over time. And so sometimes I think about projection, like if you're going to be on an outdoor date, I am thinking about lotion, oils, I will load up on some coconut lotion or an unscented lotion, because I do want it to project, because maybe right now the projection's good, but if I'm outside all day, 30 minutes to an hour in, that thing's a skin scent. You know what I'm saying? So I think about projection mostly when I'm outdoors. Does that make sense? Like if I'm going to be outdoors and my fragrance is really competing, then I'm thinking about is it either a more sprays conversation, or is it like add an oil, dab some oil, or get into some lotions to push the fragrance, body butters and things like that, because you're going outside and the fragrance is literally getting tornado evaporated off of you. So that's one area that I find myself using it. Chris, what were you going to say?
I've noticed that with eau fresh type of fragrances, they bounce off really good in the heat. At least here in this Houston heat, like when you go outside and you spray them on, they'll start to radiate off if you move around. That's what I've noticed with me. And not only that, I also like with projection. This is one of those rare. The only time I've ever had this was with Versace Eros Flame. Today I wore it throughout the whole day. Like when I was at the pub, they had a whole lot of fans, and like I was smelling myself. I'm like, I know everybody in here can smell this. Someone's got to say something. So they're just too scared. But I was like, I had Amber and Myrrh. I put that on first, and then I put on Arabian's Tonka. I'm not gonna lie, I went a little heavy. I know
I
I was
just I
smelling.
just reviewed that fragrance literally like a couple hours ago. Do
Really,
you
it's
feel
great.
like Arabian? Me and Kix had this conversation just briefly. Do you feel like Arabian's Tonka in any way smells like Instant Crush?
I haven't smelled Instant Crush. I can't
Okay.
tell you if it's super similar, but I do really enjoy this fragrance. It was a gift from a friend, and I've been wanting it for a while, and it's good stuff. It's beautiful. I like the way it bounces off my skin, and it's just literally the whole day, I was just smelling myself. Like it was like I would move.
There's a lot of sillage to that fragrance. It's really
Yeah,
radiant.
and the way it mixed with this and like this all the time I put it on, it's just beautiful. And when it like just kind of just molded together with the myrrh, it just worked so well. Like this is a new go-to for me.
Trey, what about you, bro?
So I'm not gonna lie with me, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Somebody told me when I had on this S boy,
S
which y'all already know
boy.
who this by, man. But the
Yes,
Soldier
boy.
Boy, man. Hey, y'all know this Soldier Boy, man. I kid you not, y'all. I only sprayed about 4 sprays with this, and somebody said I was too strong with this fragrance. Like I'm
Well,
over here,
that
like, bro,
fragrance
like
is
what?
like a hybrid of Baccarat Rouge and
Yeah,
what do they say it's a
like
combination of? Baccarat and what?
Sure.
to
I
be
remember
honest,
everybody was promoting it. Everybody was like, buy this because they were getting a bag for it. That's what I remember.
Jeremy Fragrance,
bro.
Jeremy
To be honest,
Fragrance promoted S Boy. A lot of people forget. Some people
Yeah.
clown S Boy. Jeremy
Yeah,
Fragrance
yeah,
had S Boy in crazy rotation, and I
yeah.
wish I remembered what he said that smelled like. He said it was a combination between Baccarat and some other popular fragrance. But
I'm gonna be honest
yeah,
with you.
yeah, yeah. I think he said it was a Creed
It's-
Aventus Baccarat type of hybrid fragrance. But Trey, my bad. So you oversprayed that
you
one
go.
time, and what happened?
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, the fragrance is good. It's good. I like it very much, but I feel like I'm not gonna lie, it was overhyped. I feel like it was overhyped for me. And this is one of those fragrances where I would wear kind of in between as a date night, or maybe just want to step out in some cooler weather, or you know what I mean? Just step out, put it on something sweet, floral. You know what I mean? You definitely get some jasmine in here, which I love jasmine. But when she said that, I told her, I was like, only sprayed 4 sprays. Like, did you think the
Come on,
projection
baby.
is
I
that
only
heavy?
did 3. What
I only,
happened?
I only did
She's
like
over there
4
like
sprays.
already
Like,
picking
come
out
on.
her tombstone.
I think what it is, her nose was sensitive. That's what it was. That's what it
Oh,
was. She
yeah,
probably had a
yeah.
sensitive nose. That's because I be wearing fragrances to work. Like I wore this one right here to work because I work in a cooler area. I wore this YSL Linoette de la Home. I
Mm,
wore that one. And I'm not gonna
mm.
lie, bro. Bro, he was like, I only sprayed, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of went over. I put like 6 sprays on with this. And she was like, how many sprays did you spray? I be telling you about these sprays. I'm like, come on now. I'm just trying to smell good. You know what I mean? She was like, yeah, I get that you trying to smell good, but don't try to kill nobody in this place. You know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool.
If I
But
want it.
yeah, yeah, but this one right here, man, hey, this definitely one of my go-to like work fragrance in that cooler area because I don't really, you know what I mean? I do a lot of moving, I do a lot of moving, in my
It's
area.
definitely
So
a learning experience, right? You learn it. We go in with these decisions, and then there's this quote, we make plans and God laughs. It's like we try to go into it and do our best, and life will always be a good mirror and show us whether or not our decisions are good or bad. I want to pivot a little bit. Um, is there anything, I just briefly want to touch on this. Let's talk about outfits. Is there anything where it's like, yo, if I ever have a suit on, this is what I'm wearing at all times. If I ever am doing, my white tee jeans, Nike's day, this is always my go-to. If I'm going out with the guys, this is my fragrance. Is there a type of outfit or apparel that like you connect a fragrance to? I know there's plenty of options for all the different outfit types, but I know for me, when I think of work, I only think of 2 fragrances, even though I have tons of work fragrances. If I'm in my office, I always associate that with Lin Sumi from Lalique and Tom Ford Grey Vetiver. That's cemented in my mind in my fragrance journey that those make me feel the best. Is there any particular outfit style for you that you have like deep memories with a fragrance with that you still kind of, that's your comfort place? You go to it today when you either have on a suit or Nike Tech or church wear or whatever.
Yeah. I think for me, something like a suit is definitely this. Alexandra 2, Georgia. This
Oh,
Yes.
is
Yeah.
beautiful for a suit. Like
And
it's one of my
that's a rose oud, right?
yeah, rose oud, incense, lavender. This is like one of my top fragrances ever. I love this stuff. Like it's amazing. Like that's what I wear with this. I think of like a suit, formal like attire in the colder months. And that's like, this just smells like luxury, like money. Like this is what you want. And this, like, I think of the colder months as well, but more fun, playful, going out a lot. Armani Code Absolute. This is like amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Root beer flow with powder. Like this stuff is. If you find a bottle, pick it up. Pick up another if they have it, because this is just. This is one of my favorite designers.
Yeah,
So
that's discontinued.
that's an outfit combo that if you it might not be something you wear often, but when you have it, you immediately are going to go to that fragrance like, man, okay,
Yeah,
this is the fragrance
like I'm
made
wearing
for
like a
this.
like a
Yeah.
cold armor jacket for the cold, like something like a little casual, but like a little dressed up, or like a jacket or something with a shirt under, a white tee or something under, and it's cold. I'm going out, putting this on.
I'll tell you what, I maybe you guys can agree or not agree with this. There is no better feeling than when you have an occasion you don't normally have and you know exactly the fragrance you want to wear for it. Like when it's been a while and you're like, "Oh shoot, I got to go to this wedding party." And then you're like the fragrance is like, "Oh, pick me. It's been too long." And you're like, "Haha, yeah, you coming out tonight." There's no better feeling, cuz I know for me and my fragrance collection, that still happens from time to time. I'll have a certain occasion where I'm like, "Oh shoot, like thank God I've been dying to put this fragrance on for this moment right here." And it's that excites me. Like it's certain occasions with certain fragrances I have. Kix, I'm sorry, man. Kick us off. What kind of outfit do you have any kind of fragrance selection for where it's like pretty easy choice for you?
Honestly, man, if it's a suit, I'm doing Creed Royal Oud.
Mm,
You already know, man. You
mm.
know I'm gonna do Creed Royal Oud. That just screams money anytime I wear a suit. That right there. Even my wife, the fragrance Yahtzee, even said, "Oh my God, you smell like money." When she said that, that was the verification. Doing white T-shirt, man. Honestly, like I was telling y'all earlier, this Ferragamo is perfect.
Oh yeah,
This is something easy.
this one
Dead
too.
ringer. It's just a Swiss Army knife. If we're talking about like, look, I ain't dressed up, but I want to smell a little bit different, man. I'm gonna just say this: rollers, the perfume rollers, man. Oh my bad. The perfume rollers. I won't say the name, but lovers. Hey
You know,
man, you put that, keep this with you, man. It works all the time. So there are dead ringer fragrances that I have in the arsenal, depending on the occasion where I just automatically know I ain't even gotta think about it, right? But those are the three automatically that I could think off of the head that I would wear.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this on camera just so that I can watch it back and remind myself. We need to do an episode on 3 fragrances per person that scream money.
Ooh.
Not necessarily you're rich or whatever, because we always do those luxury executive fragrances. You can do that too, but just a fragrance that smells like money. We got to do that. And there's this song by Pink Floyd. One of the greatest songs ever made is by Pink Floyd called Money. Play that song right there whenever I'm wearing a fragrance like Royal Oud or something like that. I'll put that song on and it is just crazy. Trey, what you wearing for like any outfit go-tos?
I ain't gonna lie, for church, I'm not gonna lie. I definitely rock with this right here. I definitely rock with this Mason Margiela, Under the Lemon Trees. I definitely rock with this. You get a nice white leather. You know what I mean? It doesn't come off too strong. It's very subtle. You get a nice bergamot. You get some lemons. It's very relaxing too at the same time. You know what I mean? It's a very relaxing scent, mood changer. And what else? And definitely for in a suit, I would definitely go with either one of these two would do just fine. Burberry London, Burberry, or YSL myself, Auto Parfum. Those definitely one of my go-to when it come up to the suits, which I actually got one in the closet. I think I'm gonna be wearing it soon, actually, because I do got an event coming up. But this one right here, I definitely rock this because it's a classic gentleman. You know what I mean? It's like you get a nice tobacco cherry. You know what I mean? Like a unique tobacco cherry in this fragrance, bro. It's just
That
so
spice.
good, man. It's so good.
That
So good.
spice in that spice in that tray is nice.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm talking about, man, this thing is so good, bro. I got plenty of compliments.
I just reviewed Under the Lemon Trees yesterday or the day before to finish out my discovery set of Mason Margiela, and I actually remember it smells shockingly close to Vetiver Sensual from Mancera. So, and that blew my mind because I was like, I wasn't expecting a lot of complexity with the replica line. And that thing in the opening smells like 90% Vetiver Sensual, and then it dries down and changes. But that like blew that automatically made me give that fragrance more props than most of the other ones in the discovery set. So that review is coming soon, guys. I have a quick question that we might not all have answers to. So starting with Chris.
Yeah.
Just so we can be clear on this. Do you think 2 people can wear the same fragrance and get 2 different results? Yes or no?
Absolutely, yeah.
Kicks? No explanation. Kicks?
Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
Trey?
Yes, sir.
And that's a yes for me as well. Reason I wanted to mention that, guys, is because no matter what we say about fragrances, at the end of the day, it's all very subjective to an extent. It's all based off personal experience. And the thing we never can really speak to is the guy that wears the fragrance.
Yeah.
You know, there's a guy who's getting out of prison today, and he's going to go home and he's going to be swole jacked from doing hard prison time, muscled out, and he's going to be broke, and he's going to go to your local Ross and pick up some Curve, and he's going to spend no more than $10, and he's going to knock down everything that walks with Curve on.
Yeah.
Because he has aura that you don't have. So I want to say that because a lot of times we can act, and women will do this too. They'll act like some of your choices will impact whether or not they're going to be into you or not. And it's like, well, guess what? Here, can you scoot over a second? There's another lady right behind you. No, I was trying to get her number, but it's like, just know, guys, with fragrances, and this is why I love when people remind people with panty dropper fragrances and all that stuff, that like at the end of the day, I can give you the best fragrance I know for romance, and you have a million ways you're going to fumble that good time, and you're going to walk away empty-handed every time. And there's nothing I can do about that. And there's also, and then there's going to be regular Tyrone that got out of, doing hard time, and he's going to go get some curve, and he's going to knock down everything that walks. And there's nothing you can do about it. And there's no, arrogant woman with her nose in the air that's going to explain to him why his fragrance choice was bad, because he is going to have a Rolodex of people waiting to get those prison push-ups and experience that good time.
Hey,
So,
Barquavius
is coming.
Barquavius,
And he might have the new Cool Water Parfum at best. And he's knocking it all down. So, guys, I just need to say that two people can wear the exact same fragrance. Let me take it a step further. You could be wearing Xerjoff, Initio, Frederick Malle, Mind Games, Chanel Exclusive, Tom Ford Exclusive, Byredo, Bond Number 9. And someone's going to be able to stand right next to you with lesser on and make more out of it. It might be because of what he naturally possesses. Maybe his personality sings more than the fragrance. And so it's always important. I say that because people talk up and talk down fragrances all the time. And ultimately, we just use it as information. You still need to be confident enough in the information you have in your journey to pick fragrances that you love. And when you love your fragrance and it speaks to you, and you also know that the fragrance isn't the last stop, you still got to put in the work on yourself, knowing yourself, taking care of yourself, growing yourself, and being out in the world to make those measurements on where you're going in life, to have the type of aura that would you need to complement the fragrance.
You got to embody it.
And in most of the situations, you are in more control than your fragrance.
Yeah. I mean, I always say it, the fragrance is the cherry on top. I always say that. Like, everything else needs to be in order before the fragrance. Like, be dressed right, act right, look right.
If you work on you could wear a fragrance she doesn't like and still get her.
Exactly.
And make changes later.
Like, say you'll smell good.
She'll be like, you know what? That fragrance you wore before, I wasn't really into that, but I'm still gonna give you my number. But because maybe you got something else going on. So, guys, I just wanted to say that because we're getting nerdy, we're getting technical, because we just want to put the information out there and share our experience. But at the end of the day, make sure you're in tune with yourself. Make sure you're growing. Make sure you're in a community of people with fragrance. Like, fragrance is so boring by yourself. Be in a community and experience it with other people and get perspective. Sometimes guys, this panel I did not make this panel so that we could figure out answers to questions. I made this panel so that we can share our experiences and show other people, like, that's what it's about sometimes, more than arriving at something where you're knocking down girls and you're doing it's just about sharing life. And so if anyone's watching this, what I hope you guys understand from this is just that, like, it's not all that serious, but it is. It's like we take it seriously, but at the end of the day, sharing these experiences and then going out and living life, and then this fragrance thing is just so amazing to be a part of. It connects. These kids Trey and Chris are in their 20s. I'm pushing 40. Kicks is up there too. It's like, but we all talk like we're all 18 years old when it comes to fragrance. Isn't that crazy? Like we all get giddy, excited, and have a ton of opinion about fragrance and are excited to go outside and wear fragrance. So that's what it's about, is connecting on that level. I want to just throw that out there, that it's not as much about arriving somewhere as it is just sharing our experiences together. And these questions are just a vehicle for our enjoyment doing that. I want to, where are we with time? So we're pushing 40. I want to ask 2 more questions before we go. So, and we might have touched on this before, but let's just spin the block on it. What are some date night fragrances you have gotten excellent feedback from? I want at least 2 from each of you. Grab 2 fragrances that have given you great feedback on date night.
Okay, I could do that.
So down here.
The ants are scurrying around right now.
You know you ain't right for this one, SB. You know you ain't right for this one, man. Had a scurrying like Ratatouille, man. That ain't cool.
Where's the other one?
Yeah.
Chris, you're up first, man, so you better get on it.
I'm on it.
Give me 2. I'm gonna grab mine while you're talking, but you got the floor.
All right, first one is by day 3, Tres Oros. I wore it, and man, it worked. I'm not even gonna lie, it did. It worked. I'm like, oh, you smell good. What is that? And I was like, chill. But no, but I was like, it's good stuff. Good stuff. I'm like, yes, that's what it is. They're like, it smells really good. And another one, I think you probably could have guessed, Eros Flame. You know, this does for everything. Moms, everyone, you know, dudes, not playing, but you know, everybody, bro.
Whoa.
Everybody. No, but really, I've gotten compliments from everybody though. You smell good, but on date night, yeah, I wore it, and they were like, "It's good stuff," and I'm like, "Yeah," and like this is one of those that's like Arabian's Tonka. It's just around, it's just like a living thing outside of me, and it's just like, you know what I'm talking about, and it's just like everywhere I go, I leave a scent trail. They can smell me over there, and they smell it, and they're like, that smells really good, and I'm just like, I know, it's crazy.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Good
Did you hear
stuff.
the 2 that he said, SB?
No. So what did he say? I just want the 2.
Okay, first 2, Tres Oros by day 3.
Oh, dude. Okay.
Second one, Eros Flame. Could have guessed that.
Yeah, Tres Oros. I can't say enough.
Yeah.
All I can say is, guys, when you first put your nose to Tres Oros, please, for the love of our sweet Lord, do not smell it one time and make a decision.
Yeah.
Put it on a test strip, coat your nose with it, and then forget about it. And then the next day, put it on your skin and go outside, because at first you will get so smothered in honey and brown sugar. That's most people's experience with it. And in that regard, it smells very one-dimensional. But it's just because your nose needs to get that primer on it. Once you put it on skin the second time and go out about your day, that thing radiates with pineapple, radiates with honey, radiates with plantain, radiates with mandarin orange, radiates with brown sugar. Like, it is just it's a nose bomb of seductive beauty, and I've gotten some insane feedback from that fragrance. But very good choices, Chris.
Almost done. Yeah, look at that.
Very good choices, brother. Kix, what you got for us, man?
Man, if it's during the day and dealing with my wife and the way she is, man, I gotta play it safe. I can't be daring. I go ahead with Ralph's Club EDP. Beautiful fragrance. It's fresh. It's light. spice, and then it got that lavender clean to it. So you got all those three that's going. And I ain't gonna lie, during the day, walking around just having a great lunch, and we're just together. This is it,
Is
right?
that a parfum?
But it's an EDP.
Oh, EDP. Okay.
Yeah, I got the
Mhm.
small bottle. I got the smaller bottle of that.
Great
Yeah,
minds
yeah,
think
This
alike.
one that. Yeah.
yeah.
So,
Hey, you can't fail with this one. It's like almost a no brainer. It's gonna be like, oh, you smell good, you smell clean. Okay, and you could even go a little heavy on the trigger with this. Not too crazy.
yeah,
You can't go
yeah,
shotgun shit, but you could go a little
yeah,
heavy. You ain't gonna hurt yourself, right?
yeah.
The next one, if we're going out to eat, we're going to let's just say me and her doing just a Ruth Chris. She deserved that little $200 meal or whatnot. I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it easy. And I'll do
Oh, I
Givenchy
love that
Society
fragrance.
Extreme. This is the Extreme. You get that nice coffee, that iris in here, the vetiver, all of that mixed together. It's a nice, seductive, like a gourmand, but it's not. It's that coffee in it that just brings it over the top. I believe this is the best one out of the Givenchy Society, right? This Extreme is to die for, and I've gotten wonderful compliments off of this one, so I stay with this bottle. It will forever be in my collection, and that's what I choose.
That fragrance is incredible. It's my number 2 from the line, but
Mm,
that thing is so deadly. When we talk about art of seduction,
mm.
it
With the
does
right
it
woman,
it bro, it does not, guys, I don't care what age you are. There we need to do an episode called does
The new one is good. That one is disgusting to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a straight shooter. I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Hey, listen. It's like Eros EDT, bro. It doesn't matter how many people diss Eros EDT. Eros EDT will get the job done for anyone, whether you like it or not. It's like a magnet. Listen,
I don't
we
know.
need to do an episode called Fragrances That Don't Belong in Designer.
Yeah.
true, true, true.
Mm.
Because Givenchy has at least 2 or 3 to me that belong in Neiman Marcus. But anyways, I digress. Trey, what 2 fragrances do you have?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna go with from the house of Carolina Herrera. This is Stream. This bad boy Stream. You get a nice cacao, warm, spicy. It's kind of it's like a very it's a masculine scent too, but yet sexy. It's a sexy masculine with that cacao, which is like I don't know, bro. Like this scent right here, it kind of leaves like a fiery trail. Like it leaves like a fiery trail behind you, bro. But this scent I have to go with for a date night. And then another one is we were just talking about it on the house of Givenchy, actually. Givenchy Reserve Privé. I ain't gonna lie, bro. This one right here, I've gotten so many compliments, bro, with this date night scent, bro. My girl, I ain't gonna lie, but she loved this scent. That's the thing with her, bro. She loved my sweet scents. But she do love my sweet scents. So this scent right here, bro, I got to go with this one. It's like a nice boozy whiskey. You get that iris in there. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. It's a weapon of seduction for sure. It's a
Yeah.
weapon of seduction.
That's
There-
another one I don't like. Reserve Privé. That's crazy.
See, now listen here, man. This is blasphemy, man. Hey, Chris is my boy, but man, I swear. Hey, why you don't like this, man? Why you don't like? Hey, I can't hold it no
Hey,
more, man.
hey, listen, man. Hey, if you
What?
guys in what I love about this panel is like the more we have guys on, the more you'll start to see their personalities. Like I know in my short time with Chris that like when you look at his fragrance selections and stuff, classiness and freshness and masculinity is like at the hierarchy of his scents. A lot of the scents he really enjoys are fresh, fruity, rosy, oody stuff. And so that's just the stuff that he gravitates towards, man. But this is the beautiful thing about fragrance. There's so many ways. It's like martial arts. You know, Kix got the drunken fist. You know, Trey's got the flying crane kick. Chris is all up top with it. You know what I'm saying? But any one of us could kill you. You know what I'm saying? Like it can get the job done. So, yeah, man, I like that people get to learn about people. That's what's so cool about doing panels. Okay, I'm going to close this out with my 2, and then we're going to do our round of applause and get out of here, go pay our bills. So, I love these fragrances. Let's just leave it at that. My first fragrance is a $40 banger, House of Lalique Ombre Noir. The juice don't lie. When I put this on, there's just some fragrances you don't feel like explaining, and I don't feel like explaining this fragrance. I don't know. I mean, I know the notes like the back of my hand, but I don't want to tell you the notes. I really don't. It just is made for me, and it has everything I want as a man in a fragrance, and it's got all the allure that my wife would want in a fragrance. It's just perfectly blended. It's not for everybody, but it's totally for me. And when I wear this at night, I feel like the man. And if I forget, my wife will remind me I'm the man when I'm wearing this, and I don't say that arrogantly. It's just a fragrance that really makes you feel good about yourself. And thankfully my wife's attracted to this scent profile. And so it makes our evenings a lot better. And so my next fragrance is one that's just, to me, one of the best scents I've ever smelled as far as just scent profile, and that's by Killian's Straight to Heaven.
Wow. That leads you straight to heaven? One of those scents where you just like
it is a robust, dude, it is a robust fragrance that I don't know if I can tell people this is blind buy worthy, just because you got to know what kind of woman you're dealing with. You really do. This is worn for a woman who doesn't play no games. She's got it all together. She has plenty of options out there, and so you better stand out. She wants to know her man is interesting, exciting, driven, takes care of his body, takes care of his mind, and he's also assertive and aggressive. And this is, a dark, fresh leather, patchouli, cacao. I call it rum raisin and dry fruits. It's just one of the coolest scent profiles. If you're into patchouli, if you're into fragrances like Bulgari Man in Black, Tom Ford Black Orchid, Diptyque's Tempo, Javois Psychedelic, fragrances like that are rich in patchouli and some form of cacao or white chocolate or something like that. It's perfectly sweet. It's like 4 or 5 out of 10, but it leads in masculinity and then softens it up with. Here's another thing I love. I love that the sweetness is coming from something non-sugary and non-synthetic. The sweetness is from kind of a rummy booze note and raisins, dried fruits. So that's got this rich kind of textured sweetness. But then you got, cacao and patchouli, which already naturally give you like a chocolate cakey vibe. And it's just a lot of earthiness, a lot of masculine leather, some aged sweetness from dried fruits. And it's so seductive. I hate that this fragrance only gives you like 2-3 hours of longevity, but they do have an intense version that I highly recommend over this one. But for me, this one just smells the best. It's such a good smell, guys. And I have a lot of patchouli scents in my collection. None of them really touch this in terms of what this does for me in the date night, the lounge, the nightlife, feeling like a grown man. and that's the seductive, super masculine man with soft edges. By Killian did a phenomenal job on this. That's my two. Trey, what were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, man, I need that. I need that fragrance, man. I need that.
Trey,
that.
I'll send you a sample of this so you can get your nose on it. But man, if you can get the extreme or intense version of this, you will have this will pretty much erase most of your date night collection.
Yeah,
it's so addicting, and so it's a fragrance that truthfully never gets old. Every time I smell it, it smells modern. It's sophisticated. I mean, it just checks all the boxes. What were you gonna say, Kix?
I'm just gonna say this. I'm not saying go ahead, you spend the money the way you want to, but that is straight R&B coat. You flip it out, man. It's like you already know, man. That guarantees awesome jawsome. I said it. KGA approved. You will get awesome jawsome if you wear that. But it takes depending on your date or whatnot. That fragrance brings out a allure, a monster. And I'm serious. When you wear that, it embodies a confidence in you, and it kind of like radiates. It's like you become Bruce Wayne for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Bruce Wayne would wear this. Like, this is what the inside of the Batmobile smells like. It is a bit mature. It is a bit mature, but I think the sweetness will reach down in age. But I always tell people, this is the man you want to be. Wherever you are in life, this is the man you want to be. And you have to have something like this in your collection because it is jaw-dropping. I'm a guy who, I don't wear fragrances to the gym. I like to be clean. I'll put a fragrance on after I shower out of the gym. I'm not a guy that really goes to sleep with fragrances. I like to shower. I like to be clean. But if I fell asleep with this fragrance because the night led to that, I would not be upset smelling like this in the morning, and neither would she. It's just sexy, man. It is sex appeal in a bottle. Okay, guys, we got to the end, man. Thank you guys so much for jumping on this panel. We always have a great time. Before we wrap everything up, again, guys, we don't know everything. We're just four men out of a world full of guys that love fragrances for different reasons than us. We're just providing entertainment and perspective of things we've actually experienced in fragrance. We're not trying to be the global census of what women want. We're not trying to be the father of fragrance. We're not trying to sit here and tell you what to wear and what not to wear. We are simply sharing our experiences of things and that we've actually enjoyed about fragrance and feedback that we've actually gotten. And so take that, add it to your journey, make your adjustments, and thrive and love this thing called fragrance. Chris, let people know where they can find you.
Yeah, it's the same everywhere. Chris Siage on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Chris Siage, just how you see it here on the screen. It's the same everywhere. You can find me on those 3 platforms.
Okay. Kix?
You can always find me, Kix Griffey, Kixz Griffey. You can find me on YouTube with that. On IG, you can find me KGA_365. And on TikTok, you can find me under Kix Griffey. Thank you, guys. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
And Trey?
Hey, Trey Fragrance, man, on everything. Instagram, TikTok, Snap. You know what I mean? Hey, everything Trey Fragrance, man. Y'all know what I like to say. We like to feel good, look good, dress good, and most importantly of all, smell good, man. That's it.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much.
Sir.
And I am the Scent Bubble. You can only find me on YouTube. So that's where I'm going to be if you want to come hang out. Like, comment, and subscribe. More importantly, turn on those notifications so that you can get all the latest and greatest in fragrance. And when you come by my channel, I'll have these guys all tagged up in the community posts and in the description so you can enjoy their channels just as much as I have so far. And with that being said, we hope you guys found a lot of value tonight, and have a blessed week, guys.